Cleopatra. She was the queen of Egypt. There's the Mediterranean Sea between Europe and Africa, and there's Egypt in the northern part of Africa. And she was there 2000 years ago, the queen of Egypt. In the year 51 before Christ, she became the queen of Egypt. Now, she was the last descendant on the throne of Egypt of the Macedonians, of Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great, he had a general called Ptolemy, and she was the descendant of him. After Alexander the Great has died, Ptolemy became the ruler. Now, she became at the same time queen as also her brother became king, but he drove her out. His name was also Ptolemy, her brother's name. He drove her out and he seized the power. But then Julius Caesar helped her to come back onto the throne in Egypt. Now, and she was with Julius Caesar as a couple, and they had a son called Caesarion. She moved to Rome with Caesarion and lived there where also Julius Caesar was living. So Rome is in the northern part of Europe. Is Egypt, and 600-700 kilometers north is now Italy. And they were living there, but then in the year 44 before Christ, so she was at that point for 7 years queen of Egypt, where Caesar was murdered. And they broke a civil war out, and she went probably back to Egypt. And there was now another person, Mark Antony. Mark Antony had 3 children now with Cleopatra. And he was, for political reasons, married to Octavia, who was the sister of the Roman emperor, then Octavia. And then later, when Octavian was the actual empire, when he had the name Augustus Caesar. And now, they tried to get power, Mark Antony and Cleopatra. They tried to rule the Eastern Roman Empire. And they didn't, because in the Battle of Actium in the year 31 before Christ, their armies were defeated off the coast of Greek. That is now, there's Egypt, there's Italy, and there's Greek. And they both fled then to Egypt, and Cleopatra spread the rumors that she was dead, probably to flee. And Mark Antony was in despair about it, tells the story, and so he committed suicide. He died, according to the story, in her arms. Now, Cleopatra tried to make peace with Octavian. Augustus won the ruler of the Roman Empire, but it didn't work out, and so she laid an asp, according to the story, an asp, which is a poisonous snake, onto her breast, and then died of its poison of the snake. Octavian wrote about her, and he described her as a wicked temptress, and that description stuck then in many people's mind, but he was an enemy of her. And also, now there's a legend told that at one time she was delivering herself rolled up in a carpet to Julius Caesar. But it's not clear if it actually happened. Now, whatever the truth, now, the people in Egypt thought of her as a great and good queen. That is according to world history on the page 162 and 163.